So let's start when both Michael and Brittany reveal in their goodbye messages about the alliance that they were a part of. What's been your reaction to that? And does that make you view them or the people in it any differently?
I will say that I'm not completely shocked that they had an alliance. I definitely didn't expect Taylor to be in that alliance. But I'm not shocked for Michael and Brittany. I think eventually they were going to work the house and end up getting an alliance that was pretty big, just because number one, Michael has a lot of wins. So I think that it would be better for people to want to work with him than work against him. But I'm not shocked for them two more, per se. But I did think something was going on with Monty Turner, Brittany, and Michael. But I kept throwing it off because other things were happening in the house, and I was like, I'm gonna just sit this back for later. But definitely not completely shocked with that one.
So the night before your eviction, Michael, Brittany, and Taylor had told you that they knew about the five swatters and your alliance with Alyssa. What was your reaction to finding that out?
I was actually very shocked, but I realized that I had two people in that alliance or alliances that just couldn't keep their mouth closed sometimes, and that was Alyssa and Joseph. And I mean, at that point, I was like, I either stay loyal and just try to fight this out, or just let them know exactly what happened. But yeah, I think that I was a little hurt by it for sure, especially coming from Alyssa because she was my best friend in the house. But Joseph, I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't even know if he meant ill content by it. I think he just talks a lot.
So you started the season being one of the most vocally against Taylor in the house. But this week, you told her that your biggest regret was not standing up for her. Talk to me about the relationship that you had during your time in the house together.
And that's while I was in the Big Brother house, I really didn't have a super close relationship with Taylor, but that doesn't go to say that if something were to happen where people were disrespecting, bullying, or being mean, that I shouldn't have stood up for her. I think that it was a lot going on, and it was so early in the game that I just decided to make sure that, it didn't ruin my game. But I also just really regret that because outside of the house, I'm that person who will always stand up for someone when they can't stand up for themselves. And so, in the later weeks, and especially in this last week, I was able to really get to know Taylor on a different level. And I just respect her so much. And I wanted her to know that, that was my biggest regret in that house, because we should all be able to lean on each other in that house, and especially have people that can have each other's back when we feel down or when somebody's attacking us.
How much do you feel your injury positively or negatively affected your game overall?
Negatively, I wasn't able to compete as hard as I wanted to in physical comps, and it definitely weighed on my mental with that, because I got hurt so early in the game. And I felt like, physical comps just weren't going to be my thing, even if I wanted them to, or even if I felt confident about the competitions. I knew that my ankle injury was going to hold me back to some capacity. Positively, I think that the house guests got to know me a little bit deeper on deeper levels. I got to know them, and also, it kind of helped me, feel, get their sympathy a little bit in regards to not possibly putting me on the block. So I could have went on the block a little bit earlier, but I think that they wanted me to be able to fight for myself if I were to get on the block. And so I do think it positively helped me in that manner.
Okay, so to finish off, I want to get your rapid fire thoughts on each of the remaining house guests, starting with Alyssa,
Where's her heart on her sleeve?
Brittany,
Floater.
Joseph,
Uh, oh, this one's hard. Charismatic.
Kyle,
Probably one of the worst players in the game for me.
Michael,
Strategic.
Monty,
Close to his chest.
Taylor,
A beauty queen, of course.
Terrence,
Careful.
and finally Turner.
Um, Inconsiderate. Yeah.